Very well made. Nice. Hey, how are you? You can, well, believe it or not, being a teacher, you find like this is like a teacher's manual. It's like 100 years old for reading. I'll pull it out in my video. It's like crazy. This is 100-year-old math arithmetic book. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it so cute? Like, let's see the date. It says 1929, so almost 100 years old. Isn't that cute? And this is like a little wood teacher desk with like a, it's got like what do you call that metal? Like yeah, yes. Like why can't I think of the name of the really heavy metal that the pots are made out of? And the door stops. Cast iron. Oh my God, where's my brain? And this is one of those old rulers that well, and it's really no different than my cool. Actually, I like my rule better. My brown one that I always have. I have another this one. Yeah. There you go. So, all right. So I'm the end. You're going to be really impressed with I literally today. Oh, hello for anyone who else has popped in. Hi there, Kathy. How are you? Let me turn the volume off that. Um, so it's the teacher in me, and I've been teaching obviously, but not in the classroom for many years. I've been my own business, the tutoring, all that business, and so I'm like, okay, well, I want to do something fun, something interactive, something whatever. So I just got this whole idea of like, okay, how I broke down all the stuff I was going to talk about, for the theme that I told you about, and then, yeah, so there's going to be, I have a whole little, very integrated activity that I'm about to start, which obviously there's people already on. I'm just sitting here gabbing to Rachel here. Um, yeah, but let me say this to you, Rachel, since I didn't make you do an interview. If during this, if you're going to be on most of this time while you're sort of working, if I'm like, okay, Rachel, give me your 2 cents on that, you can pop in and speak. You know what I mean? Okay. So there you go. All right, good. I just didn't want to give you something else to do. Hello, everybody. What a long day, but a fun day, right? Lots of, yeah. Hey, yeah. Oh, good. So she's just starting. Okay, very good. Okay. Well, do you think that she's forgotten to come? She's still talking. Um, the girl before me, because it's 10:01. Yeah, with her 22 people, because there's only 6 in here, and they're all in there with her. That's all right. Oh, she must be talking about the end because people are saying, well, I don't know, maybe not. She just said, like Kathy said, great show. Hey, Kathy, when you popped out of there, did she say she was finishing up? Or maybe Kathy's in here, I think. No, she wasn't saying she was finishing up. Okay, I hope she didn't forget. She, okay. And for all I know, she could have thought she was last because it is so late. Yeah, she's so good. She's so so good. Yeah, so when we had the spontaneous butt call today, sorry for saying that on the chat. We had a spontaneous chat video call with Rachel today with some people from, kind of the Lilyworks community on District, which I realize there's people that are popping in this video who aren't necessarily sellers on District. You could be coming over from, whatever, you know. But we had done an accidental one a few days ago, and everyone was like, "Listen, we want to have another one," because it was just fun to chat and honestly to see people's face. Because I don't always connect it. Sometimes people show their face. I do a little bit. Uh, Sometimes, some people have the picture on their little advertisement or whatever. So, Oh, raid over to her. Oh, that's what she's saying. Raid over to her, Kathy says. Don't forget to raid to Curry. Hey, just FYI, Sharon, Curry is ready. That's okay. Oh, here she goes. All right, there it went. Hi there. Oh, we're going to have so much fun tonight. It's going to be so much fun. You see, and everybody's on this call. I mean, Rachel's on this call with me. It's kind of like a solo thing here. Yes. Yes. So that was Marissa, and who else has popped in? Hi there. Uh, ISO 981491. I'm not sure your first name, but welcome. And then I see Maria. Thank you for coming in. And great show. Great show for uh I always forget how to pronounce it. Kirk. Hold on, I have it in my pictures here. Sharon Kirk. Kirk's Jewel Cove. That's what I was trying to remember. Great show for her. So, welcome everybody to a teaching night. And you know what? Rachel's a teacher, and she started off the teaching day, and I'm a teacher. And I don't know how many other teachers went today who are actual, teachers, but I am, in fact, as well a teacher. Been, teaching for over 30 years. So, we're gonna have some fun. My thing, my show, my whatever is gonna be mostly just talking and teaching. I do have just the teeniest touch of some sales at the very end. That's kind of a surprise because it's gonna like be thematic and all, because that's what us teachers do. So any of you that are the first time popping in here, I'm Curry with Cherish Relics Boutique. I also do in fact have a YouTube channel where there's tons and tons of unboxings and jewelry hauls and all those sorts of things. Um, and as of most recently, you can also go to the live section of my YouTube page, and you can see tons of live shows because I have come over to District, which has been just an immensely awesome welcome, and have really enjoyed getting to know the community and the sellers and participating in live shows. So you can also view all those live shows on my YouTube channel. Yes, we are, in fact, on the train of Lilyworks. What's the formal title? Learning with Lilyworks. There you go. You see, and Rachel's on the here too. If you wonder why you're hearing her, it's because you're hearing her. She's in the thing with me, so which I love it. Okay, so what I want to tell you is I'm all about visuals because I think sometimes when it comes to learning, everybody is a different kind of learner. Some people learn, visually. Some people learn kinesthetically. That's why I mean, I actually am Orton Gillingham trained as well, which is an approach used for people with dyslexia. It's a multisensory approach, but the reason Orton Gillingham works, and it's the grandfather, like the Cadillac of all multisensory reading interventions. It's because it pulls in multiple, you know, uh, um, senses. And so I think, having things for people to remember or to physically hold in their hand or to manipulate or whatever helps people remember. So with that idea, I hope you enjoy my little background here. Just very quickly, I was showing Rachel earlier that, in my own house, I do have decorated because I am a teacher. This is an actual teacher's reading manual for beginning, readers. And so, of course, we had the teachers up here. Look at that, Rachel. And I guarantee you it's not going to be the type of, more, how the pendulum will swing from more whole language to phonics to whatever the current thing is. But, Dick and Jane and that whole world, there you go. So that's isn't that cool? um, Old vintage crayons, and old vintage, I think probably the kids at their desks way back then would, have all those really things. And I have all these fun little books. Like this is a Webster elementary dictionary. I won't take it out because it will, I'll show you that at the end. But anyways, my scene to set the stage for us to start right now. I know you can't wait. So I have a tub here, a tub that is filled with lots of information about tonight's topic. And tonight's topic that I want to share with you, that I kind of was sparked to talk about is actually how we can stay positive with the challenges that come with being an online slash live jewelry reseller. Because there are, in fact, a lot of challenges that we have to face. I mean, it's not the end of the world kind of challenges, but the things that we have to kind of logistically work through to try to, get the best out of our time, to feel actually happy about the process, to feel like we're making connections and all the like. So I'm going to open up my notes real quick right here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had texted it to myself. Aha, there we go. Hopefully it will stay open. Okay, so I want to first start off by telling you every bit of information that you're going to hear tonight. I need you to remember that I am not an expert. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm not an expert on life. I don't think any of us are. But the point of what I'm trying to do tonight is to really try to share with you my own experience, what I've been through, and just, kind of help give you some tricks for the trade. Now, there are people on this live that could be brand new sellers or brand new to jewelry and everything. Everything's, like you're a sponge, you're taking it in, you're taking it in. But there's also a lot of, people on, on the chats, I mean, on the lives that we've had all day that are, very, uh, senior. I don't know if senior is the right word, but they're very established, knowledgeable people in the jewelry world for resale. And but what I want to say and what I want to remind you is that we never stop learning. I never stop learning. And sometimes it's good to hear a different perspective, or sometimes it's good to hear, maybe someone else's experience. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, is go through that. So my thing is broken down into 12 parts, where each of them are in my tub. And I'm going to pull an item out of this great tub that I've specifically put together for this actual time together, and talk to you about some things that I think might be valuable for some of us, or just good to hear. Or you know what? It just might be good Friday night entertainment. I don't know. So, but the very first item that I'm going to pull out of this tub here is going to be this little green guy right here. And obviously, everyone can tell what he is. uh, we've got a cute little froggy here. And what I want to tell you in the very first part of this lesson, we'll put him up there right on the stage right there, is that sometimes when it comes to, reselling and all this whole jewelry online thing, um, if you've never done it and you're pondering, do I want to do it? Do I not do it? I know some very specific people right now at this moment that are on the brim of about to kind of start their first experiences with resale or live selling. But it can make you nervous. Hey, Rachel, turn your thing off because I hear all your plastics. Okay, or don't. Yeah, I can hear you open and shut, and that's fine. I mean, you can. Yeah, are you like doing little tubs, like do working on jewelry? Isn't that crazy? No, I really. You guys, tell me in the chat if you can heal Rachel's opening and closing of bags. Yeah. There is no question. And I don't mind you leaving it on. I kind of like you being there, so it's all good. So, what I want to say is, what do frogs do? And when they move and when they jump really far, what do we call that? They take a what? They take a, and let's see if someone will use the word that I want to use here. Let's see if someone will say it. That's right, a leap. And the very first part of this lesson is me talking to you about sometimes we just have to take a leap into the unknown. We don't know how it's going to turn out. We don't know if it's going to be easy. We don't know if it's going to work. But we also don't know if it's going to turn out to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. And the only way is for you to jump in, for you to start the process and experience it. So this little frog here, you can name him. You can name your own individual frog. I don't know, is to remind you, sometimes we just need to take a leap. We need to step through our fear. And sometimes people want to talk themselves out of doing something major or big because, you'll tell yourself, well, it's not the right time, or I'm not ready, or, I'll do it when this thing happens, or whatever, or, and people who are married and they're thinking about having children, they'll ponder back and forth about, well, when's the right time, and, oh, I don't know, we'll do it this or we'll do it this, and sometimes it's just good to just let it happen. You know what I mean? So remember, when you start off anything new, like if you're starting off a resale jewelry business where you're doing online sales on eBay or on District, or working on even some live sales, you need to remember, don't set yourself up in a situation where you set these huge goals that are unsurmountable. I mean, maybe Rachel can do that because she is like the, queen of like do it all. But make yourself little teeny goals. Take baby steps. You know, celebrate the little things that have happened that have been like celebrations, or hey, I figured how to do this type of technology, or I figured how to list this item, or I reached out to a new friend on District that I saw in the chats and I wanted to get to know them. Whatever it is, take the leap. So there's your first little thing. So we're just going to leave him there. All our little items are going to come out of the box and share with us. And we're going to move on to our second part, which is another important part when you are, and here's all my goodies in here. And I'm going to come over here to this little book. Isn't this cute? It's a little teeny cat in the hat. Um, and, books are obviously very helpful when we're trying to look up information. So this section of my little thing here is to talk about, it's important when you're starting off, um, any sort of new resale business with jewelry. If you want to have a positive experience, you want to make sure that you do plenty of research. Use online resources. Go to other people's, YouTube pages. Go to other people's, Instagrams, or even go to their eBay pages. And maybe get some ideas. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Our little friend here needs a book, so we're going to put it right there with him. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to people even if you don't know them terribly well. Rachel will admit that when I first came to District, because I didn't actually formally go through the newbie train because there was some people were out of town, or I don't know, I wasn't able to go through the little practice thing, but I had a YouTube page for a couple of years. I'd done lots of videos, done lots of editing, done lots of this kind of thing. And I was a teacher and I was familiar with things like this. But I was new to District. For a whole week, Rachel will admit, I reached out and asked her so much. And I'm sure she can speak for herself. She was kind of like, it was a month. I didn't bug you for a month. I'm sure it did. Because I literally asked her about all these questions, like, how do you do this? Because all of it was new. But, have I bugged you really with those type things since I figured it out? No, now I just bug you with other things. But my point is, most people are gracious. So is Rachel. Don't be afraid to reach out. And another thing that people tonight, I think it might have even been Sharon in our last teaching one, or it might have been, yeah, it was Sharon that was talking about using, the Google Lens. It's another resource. It's very helpful. Most of us on our devices, if you have Google in general on your device, it's not something you really need to download. The Google Lens is a very helpful app. Oh, let me go out here. I'm looking at pictures. Sorry. I'm in the complete wrong place. See, that is not Google. There we go. You click on Google, and right here you have this little kind of camera looking thing. And what you do is, if you click on that, what it does is it brings you to this where really you can look up, things that maybe you're, not familiar with. Like, you don't even know what something is and you have no information and you want to like figure it out. So, like, for example, let's say I wanted to take a picture of these very vintage crayons and I wanted to see what someone might resell them for. Well, I take a picture of it on the app, it pulls it up and it does a visual search. And let me tell you why the Google Lens is such an amazing resource to use for resellers. Way back before we had this resource, we had to look stuff up in books. Not me, because I've always had the Google Lens. We had to, reach out and, get information by, educating ourselves by going to, other antique stores, or being exposed to a whole bunch of different products, or, I don't know. I mean, all the other ways people would get information, go to the library, I don't know. But here, just from a visual search, look right there. in just one quick picture, I'm able to pull up someone who had another box of these crayons. It doesn't have a massive value, which is helpful for me. So I know pretty much mine has got more wear than theirs. They only charge $6. Mine's got more wear. But you know what? Someone might care about it. Maybe I'll charge, $3 or $4 for that when I put it in my antique booth. It's a great resource. And then there's an additional thing on this that's a really helpful part of it. When you are searching with your picture, let me go back out here. There's a little button, a little part in here where you can type in. And sometimes when you pull up the picture, if what's down here isn't giving you enough information, then what you can do is go add to your search. And let's say you wanted to write in, it shows the picture there, but let's say the thing we were looking up was not showing the brand, but I'm just going to say vintage. I'm giving more, even though it says it. And sometimes it'll pull up more specific things. Here, I even got more of them pulled up right there than I had a second ago. Okay. So sometimes it's really helpful to use that part of the app where you can do what's called add to your search. Because I don't think for the first couple months that I used this app that I even knew about add to your search. And want to know how I learned about this? Is there a woman that we know? Please raise your hand if you're in the chat. If your name is Rachel and you're in charge of Lilyworks reselling community, yeah, raise your hand, Rachel. You're the reason I figured out how to do the add to your search, because I never realized that you could do that information, that part. So anyways, that's our second part, and our cute little, it's an eraser too, but that cute little book is to remind you, part of how you can make your experience with being new into the whole reseller world is to, do your research, reach out, ask for help. Okay, my next little part, let me come in here to my cute little box of goodies. I'm going to pull out this little thing. And to be honest, I was only at the dollar store and I could only get what was at the dollar store today. This is in fact a magnet. And in reference to the whole idea of tools of the trade, why would I be pulling up a magnet when in regards to jewelry? Why is a magnet important to us as jewelry resellers? Just tell me some very brief responses in the chat. We all know, but give me some ideas of why a magnet would be a helpful tool for us as resellers. And I'll have a drink while you guys type. Sorry. Is anyone awake? Does anyone? Oh, they're spending their time typing. Hopefully, someone's typing. But certain earth metals are magnetic, and of course, leave it to Felicia to be so sciencey about her answer. I love it. Some real metal is not magnetic. Well, precious metals like gold and silver are not magnetic. So when we're trying to differentiate between jewelry that might be a precious metal versus just something that's costume or something that's been metal plated or something that's made of, another kind of metal, having a magnet is one of the first tools that we as jewelry resellers use because it completely takes our stuff and breaks the category in half. It's really helpful. But in the chat, what I'd like you to do is name some other helpful tools that we use as resellers. So just type them in the chat. Picking up pieces that fall. Good idea. I love that. Very good, Marissa. This is true. Very important. Definitely pick up things. What are some other tools that we use? I'm going to go grab some of my tools so I can bring them over here to you. And I have a ton of them, so I won't bring all of them. And I actually think most of my tools are over here on the floor. And of course, these are only a few. So we've got a ring. Yes, a ring sizer. You got it. A bracelet sizer. You got it. Definitely. I definitely use these to be able to measure small amounts on actual stones and things like pearls or things when I'm trying to list things, because it can obviously give the measurement in millimeters. So, that's helpful. We have different things that we use for taking pictures of items or using them during sales. A lot of us probably use black lights. Rachel's YouTube channel is an excellent, important tool to use. Yes, that's right. And of course, we use this to be able to identify things that might be glowy things that are certain kinds of glass, as well as being able to distinguish uh, amber. Back here on my table. Here, I'm going to unplug you and give you a little, field trip in my jewelry room, which used to be my daughter's bedroom, but now she's been away at NYU for so long. You know, she doesn't even come home. So I've taken over. But of course, I have, like here's acid tests to be able to, test for things. And I was just testing right before we started, being able to have certain things to fix jewelry when we need it. Here I just got this tool. I bought it for my birthday. It's a printer to be able to print tags out for when we purchase items, a fan for the room because the room's so hot that you're dying. A Palladium gem tester, which is down here on the floor because that's where I was sitting. I could go on and on and on. There's lots of great tools that we use. But what I want to tell you in regards to those tools, and here's our little magnet reminder. I don't know if I have anything metal in there, but we'll stick it to that, is in a loop. So helpful, so helpful. Refresh your acids every 6 months. Oh, okay, I will do that. I haven't been good about that. Do you really think that they're not consistent or accurate when you don't refresh them? I'm going to move my tools out of the way a little bit. In your opinion? Yes, Felicia, I have a digital calipers. I can read those. You can get false results. Okay, well, I guess that's really important for me to know so are you even saying acids that have never been opened? Are you saying once they've been opened, there's a shelf life? Because that's, really helpful to know. Okay, I'm moving my caliper. Okay. Once opened. Okay, very good. Got it. For sure. I agree. So anyways, but what I want to tell you guys is when I first started doing jewelry resale, and I'm sure many of us can say can talk about our experiences in the chat. I didn't have all those tools. I don't even think I had a magnet. In the beginning, I was just, looking for marks. In the beginning, I didn't even know how to use the Google Lens, like I just learned along the way, and a little bit at a time, you learn a little bit more and you figure something out. And you know what else you do? You make a lot of darn mistakes, and those mistakes help you remember, and you learn, and you learn from your mistakes. So that's really, really helpful. Um, you know, and Rachel, here's your little interview part. You got to pop on here and say hello to me. I would like you to tell me what was your first major tool that you got as a jewelry reseller, if you're there? Oh, oh, go ahead. Just roller thermal printer, which is what I just pointed out over there on my shelf. But I've been doing it a couple of years, and I only just got one, and I'm like, why did I wait so long? Yes, I was cutting them. Yes. Mm. Promise, please. Yeah, that's great. Hmm. Yep. Yes. Yes. Yep. Right. Or not like a huge, big, awesome jewelry cleaner, which is I just got that too. Yeah. Yeah. It's not what you want to spend your money on in the beginning. Yes, I have those as well. 100%. Great for photos. Being able to take, well, that's one of my next things we're going to talk about. So I'll wait on that. But very, very helpful item for sure. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, so we're going to move on. And you know what? Do you guys want to know what's next in my little bag of goodies here, or my little tub of goodies? Well, look what I'm going to reach in and get after Rachel just said what she said. Oh, it's a light bulb. Hmm. Just in the very last live, I heard Sharon Kirk talking about, gosh, if I could just get this lighting figured out, it's making me crazy. I can't, figure out what the right thing is to do. And I know I remember her just talking about that. And, even as we're taking pictures for, our eBay listings, how much nicer is it to look at pictures that were taken from a light box where, they're crisp and white and clear, like that your customers can see the items that you're trying to list. You want to be able to zoom in really close. And so this next section about with my bulb, which obviously is reference to light, the topic of this one is how do I look? And what I mean by that is we're trying to make the appearance of how our listings look be the best that they can be. How does my live video look? Or does it look clear? Can people see the right area? Or are they struggling because we're way down here in the bottom? Thinking about the logistics of how others are perceiving the product that you're trying to present. And we know that all of us are here in the background, going thrifting and cleaning things and researching things and, organizing things and all that. And we're doing all this work and in the background. And sometimes all that work won't come to fruition if maybe you do a listing that the picture's really far away, or maybe you don't provide enough information in the listing and, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So having good lighting, a light box, hugely helpful. Currently, what use now, I do use a light back for pictures, but I have a ring light here. I also have really important lights up there, and I was able to set this thing up here so when I do my filming, I don't have to be in a light box, and it's pretty close to it. But I have a million lights around me. But not just how you look in regards to a photo, but here, let me look at my notes here. But also, how do I look in regards to? And we're gonna all laugh about this here in a second. Hold on, let me find this. Uh, Photographs for listing, being able to do accurate listings. You know, uh, I don't know really how do I look isn't about pricing, but someone might view if maybe your pricing is a little bit too high, they may view you as maybe that's a seller I don't want to go to because they're just over my price point. So it's really not how you look, but it's just, you want to make yourself um, um you want to position yourself or present yourself in a way that people want to come back for whatever that reason is. Maybe you're funny, maybe you tell great stories, maybe you're very personal. Like one thing that I think is a reason why Rachel has been so successful in her YouTube channel is she is so herself. She is funny, she laughs at her mistakes, you know uh she doesn't always have the right answer. She's real, she's authentic, and that's part of how I look. It makes people want to be around, want to return, want to, bring business to you again. So let me see what else I put here. Other parts that are important in terms of how we work is also thinking about like when people do purchase items, you want to sometimes make it personal. Maybe you want to like, and many of you do this, jot a little quick note on the receipt, maybe put in something in your packaging that might reflect, your logo or something like that. And a lot of you guys, when I buy things from you, have business cards. You're all doing the right things, or you're, putting special notes. You're putting in little extras into your baggies. Like just the other day from Rachel, I got some things from her and she sent me some extra little goodies in my bag, and that was just a fun little thing to be like, oh, that's so special, and everyone's, and then also having the right packaging, like we gotta, I bought a whole bunch of boxes in bulk in different sizes. You guys have all done the same thing. You've got, in your closets, wherever you're doing your stuff, a lot of us are saving other boxes that were sent to us to try to save in the environment. but we're also having to on our own purchase, bubble wrap and paper and all these things to make sure that our products are getting to our customers, that they are being presented to them, and when they open it, that it's better than it looked when they bought it. You know what I mean? And so those are some things that are going to give you a positive experience. And then ultimately, at least on eBay, I don't know if there's a place to give reviews on district, except that they have the rankings sort of thing, which I love, that they have rankings that are also community rankings, because there's so much more to look at besides just the amount of money that was spent or purchased or whatever. There's how much time did someone spend involved in different district whatever shows, things that were purchased, things that were listed, all those things. How do we look? And then the very last thing about how we looked, which I didn't do a darn thing to my nails tonight, but my husband cracks up at the fact that as I've started to do all these online shows, I've like ordered all these Lily and Fox nail stickers, and I've been giving myself manicures, and we all do it. And, every time our nails look terrible, as any of us would, we'll be like, oh, I've been cleaning it with the acids today, or I just painted the room or whatever. We all know that we normally look like this. We're living. But we feel like we have to present ourselves when we get on these shows with this, like, and you know why we do? Because people are looking so close up at ourselves. And I get it. So I'm laughing about the hands. I have dry hands. I've always had dry hands. And I've had people make comments in my YouTube before, about like, honey, you need to like, get a manicure, like, and then your like feelings are hurt because it's not, you take it personal. So anyways, this is what I have to say. It's okay to have nothing on your hands. Just come and present your stuff. It's good to be groomed, but anyways, that's part of how we look. So that was that part. Rachel, do you have anything to touch on the jokiness of how do I look in light boxes and really the presentation we're giving in our product? Oh my gosh. Why would you say that? What's wrong with you? Yay, Hannah came. I'm so happy. I texted her today and reached out and said, hey, will you come by? Go ahead, Rachel. Keep talking. Oh, Hannah, you can just come and teach. We're doing teaching trains once a month, just teaching. That's right. Yeah. 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 For sure. And Rachel, you are really hard on yourself because I want to tell you, not everybody is the same in this world. We're all different and we all have different strengths. And you have skills and things that, others don't, that, you know, maybe this background's all great and super, but maybe, I don't necessarily have, the patience or the calmness about my speak because I'm a little busy and go, 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 that you bring an energy that draws people in. So my point is that how do I look or how do I sound or how do I present myself? You are obviously giving off something that is drawing people in. And for me, I think it's your authenticity is what I think, but that's what I have to say about that. So I just want to say it is now 10:39. I'm letting you know right now. I'm the caboose of the train. I have 12 things to go over. We will not finish um, you know, at 11 Eastern time. Like I hope you stay and visit and look through it all. But I understand if you get tired or whatever. But I'm not going to feel the pressure to end right at 11 Eastern time because I'm the last one on the train. So, anyways. I'm moving on. I'm moving on to our next little goodie that I'm going to pull out of here. And I'm going to pull this little guy right here. Isn't he cute? So colorful. Oh, and I have to grab something out of a bag right here to make my point. Hold on 1 second. Because okay. Sorry, I have to grab something because it's part of my point. Okay, so this next little section of my talk is to tell you that it's really important, and we sort of already touched on it, that as we, are getting ready to trying to have a positive experience with all this new jewelry online resale, whatever version of resale you do, that it's important that, when we get ready to put ourselves out there, it's important to be yourself and like, so, well, here I have all these people. We're all people. But I want you to understand that, everybody's different. Some are young and some are old and some are tall and some are short and some are, uh, live on one part of the country and some people speak other languages and, some people like this and some people like that. The point is, be yourself. It's okay to be unique. That's what people are going to appreciate about, getting to know you. And um, part of this section about putting yourself out there, what I want to touch on, and we're going to put our little dinosaur guy right there, is I want to touch on the importance of getting involved in social media. And as you do this, be yourself. Be yourself when you figure out a logo. I'm going to tell you right now, my logo is those words for a reason. And some of you have already say why I use the word Cherish Relics Boutique. So when my mother died a couple years ago, and I decided to start up these antique booths because that's where I started. I came up with this logo, but the name specifically Cherish Relics Boutique. I wanted to go back to me as a baby when I was born, and my maiden name is Curry Rebecca Brooks, which you can see Cherish starts with a C, Relics starts with an R, and Boutique starts with a B. And so I was trying to come up with a name that was from like what I was born as, like the foundation of me, my roots. And so I made my logo personal to me. As you delve into the whole social media world, usernames. Like we've had all these people in the chat. Like we have Mel who just changed her username to Granny's Vintage because it's her personal experience. She is a grandmother and she loves vintage jewelry. And we have Michelle who just changed her username to Pack Your Bags because there is some story in her own personal life that has something in meaning for her. And so bring those things in about yourself. Be yourself. It's important. And let me see my other notes that I wrote here for this. Like I actually got a little stamper that's my logo also, that when I made my tags and in my antique booth, and any one of you that have bought from me have seen me stamp my little logo on these little cards, because I'm adding a personal touch to people's purchases. Um, and let's see, social media, and when you're doing advertisings and you're, trying to create, thumbnails, bring things about you that you love. Don't feel pressure that you have to do it a certain way because this must be the right way. There is no right or wrong way. There's only your way. And so it's important as you do advertise, get social media, spread your brand, that you are authentic to yourself. Now, I really want to touch on this. Really doesn't have anything to do with the whole be yourself part. Yes, don't be afraid to be yourself. So important. But this doesn't have to do with it, but it does have to do with social media. As we have started to do all these lives on District, and Rachel, has been streaming everything over onto YouTube. We've had the challenge of dealing with the whole trolls issue and, online safety. When you create a YouTube channel or a Facebook channel, and if it's specific to your business, you do not have to give out your personal information. It can be something that doesn't even have your name in it. You don't have to even share your first name. Some of us do share our first name, and that's okay, but that's just our choice. But you don't have to. You need to be comfortable with how you go about, this process of putting yourself out there. But a part of dealing with the whole social media is dealing with trolls, dealing with negative comments, and sometimes to make our not so great experience turn into a positive experience, you have to rely on your community or your friends to help you. And just the other day, many of you were on a sale that I had where I had this troll that would not go away. And he was so brilliantly smart. And Felicia and Mel were helping me, hunt him down, that he was bugging me from YouTube and being really inappropriate. And of course, I just couldn't. I was so distracted by him and frustrated, but they couldn't figure out where he went because they deleted him off of Rachel's streaming off her YouTube page. But they realized that my description in my, when I do my lives on District, I put my YouTube channel. So he had gone to my personal, like my actual business YouTube channel, and he was still in the chat. So it was unbelievable, like, ugh. Rely on people to help you. And I'm going to let Rachel touch on, if you're still there, Rachel, just your whole idea on this topic, being yourself, putting yourself out there, social medias, logos, being yourself, internet safety, blah, 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 trolls. If you're there, go for it. Okay. In my chat, in my thing here, because I haven't even been, yeah, yeah, right, right, exactly, saying it. Right. Hannah, you don't have to sell over here. You can just come and hang out. Yeah, me too. Right. Do you have anything to touch on regarding social media and the importance of kind of trying to pull in some of that and making sure people are comfortable in within themselves in that process? Because people have different levels of comfort. Right. Yeah. Right, right. Yeah, I got to figure out that magic comment thing. I haven't gotten that. You see, we never stop learning. You see, that's an area that I need to figure that out and delve down that path of, it's good. It's good to always be challenging ourselves to be better. Okay, thank you, Rachel. I'm going to reach into my little box here and I'm going to grab for my next item. Let me see here. I've got this little goodie guy. Can you guys tell what that is? Ooh, it's some super glue. What I want to touch on here with my little super glue friend, cute little super glue friend, which appears to have opened because my hand is sticky. Hold on one second. Shouldn't be open. Oh, I must have like bumped it or something. How weird. That was not intentional. Anyways, okay. So what I want to talk about here, um, and I hope you guys like music because I'm going to play a little song for us here in a second. But what I want to say to you guys is, um, hold on, I got to word it right from my notes. Give me one second. Uh, in regards to sales and things when sales aren't we put all this work in and like the other day I had a day where I went for 40 minutes and I didn't have a single sale and you put all this work in the background and and you just have to remember, you have to be able to look at the whole picture and remember that, like for me, I don't want any of this. This was my big thing about coming over to district. I didn't want it to be about just sales. I wanted it to be about making connections too, and I wanted it to be about learning from other people, and I wanted it to be about, you know, um, whatever else could come out of the experience that I didn't even know. You know what I mean? And so but just like everybody else, sometimes we can get downer on ourselves, or even we can question ourselves like, well, maybe I brought the wrong product, or maybe this isn't what they were looking for. And what I want to say in regards to, you win some, you lose some, or here's a phrase that comes from a specific song that I used to listen to when I was growing up. You're up one day, the next you're down. That's a John Prine song that I'm going to play for you guys. it just goes with this live selling, or even on eBay. There are times that I've reached out to my friend Han and I've been like, have your sales been down? Like, what has happened? It's like things have like plummeted. And one time, actually this summer, I was on a lot of trips this summer, and my sales on eBay were just incredible. They were doing so well. But then I had gone out of town for several weeks. And, when you go out of town, you can't ship off your packages. So, I put my eBay sales on hold, like I was on vacation mode. And I found out when I got back, and I'm kind of chatting with my friend Handa, I'm like, listen, you know, uh, what's going on with that? How have your sales been? And she reminded me that, when you're gone, I guess whatever I don't know, the computer social media thing reads that I'm gone, it'll like lower my views or something. I don't know. It like doesn't make me as viewable, I guess, when I'm not active on my eBay site, when I'm not sending, offers to my buyers, when I'm not, engaged in it, when I'm not showing that I'm online a lot. And when you go on vacation for 2 weeks to Montana and go ride horses and, walk down trails and, whatever, it's not good for your it's not good for your thing. But I needed to be reminded of that, because you know what I did? I questioned myself, like, okay, well, or no, I questioned YouTube, like, what's changed here? When, you know what I did? I reached out to a friend, and a friend told me about something that I wasn't aware of. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe when I go out of town next time, maybe I need to like set myself up so the timing in which I'm gone maybe isn't as long. I don't know. Another thing that can come along with, you know, you're up one day, the next you're down, or, what's the other phrase I have? You win some, you lose some, is, sometimes there are things that happen within our reselling, within our lives, within our sales that you have absolutely zero control of. And you can tell me in the live right now in the chat, tell me some things that you have zero control of when it comes to resale, a live show, packaging, mailing, resale in general. Put some things in the chat that you have zero control over that affect us and affect our business. Let's see here some things that you might come up with while I take a sip. Things break in the mail. Absolutely. I mailed off beautiful Murano glass, hand knotted beads to a customer, and they arrived to her completely crushed and torn apart. Like, but I want to make my customer happy no matter what. And so, I worked out a way to make it so, she was still happy, but I didn't lose out on these, $60, $70 cost of those beads. So, I had to make it work. Uh, and the up your day, the next you're down, I had no control over. What else do we have here? The right buyer for the jewelry piece isn't in the live show. Oh my gosh, that's huge, Rachel. And I'll let you touch on that more. I'll let you talk here in a second. That's right. Postal services. That's a huge one, Mel, with Granny's Vintage with her new username. I love it. Being like, the internet is down. Oh my gosh, how many times are we like, this isn't working? I saw Jennifer with Hints of Violet the other day, and she was struggling massively because for whatever reason, the internet was like, and maybe it was, I don't know if it was Hints of Violet or maybe it might have been the Jade Peacock. I can't remember, but somebody the other day was struggling with internet and it was completely affecting their life. And you just get so flustered and that sort of thing. So let me look at my notes real quick, and then I'm going to let Rachel touch on this topic of, and the reason I used glue is because I want you to know sometimes when it's completely out of your control, you just do the best you can to go and fix it. Whether it's sending a coupon to a customer, writing them a special note, mailing them a special pair of earrings, taking a deep breath and realizing, you know what, the right buyers aren't in this tonight. Maybe it's just going to be, we're just going to bond in it. I'm going to gain something else out of tonight's live and be okay with it. Just be okay with it, you're up one day, the next you're down. Let me real quick look at this. And remember to focus on celebrate the small things that are happening in your resale, in your experience. Maybe a bonding with a friendship with somebody. Maybe a I learned something new. Maybe a, oh my gosh, I just went thrifting today and I found a diamond, pendant that is at the bottom of a tub of $2 jewelry. I don't know. Focus on those. Uh, celebrate the small things, but remember to focus on the whole picture. And Rachel is really good at focusing on the whole picture because believe me, I'm fully aware, especially with Rachel, that she has to deal with stuff that whoa, like whoa. So it's just hard because I don't mean this bad. I'm not trying to say things like that, but Rachel is logistically she's juggling a million things and there are a lot of things that are completely out of her control, but she somehow comes out of it with a positive attitude and she focuses on the little wins, on the little celebrations. So I'll let you touch on that, Rachel, if you're still there. Mm, there you go. Hey, Rachel, real quick before you say more, remind people when you used to be on your YouTube channel, your other YouTube channel where we used to see you do that is more kind of focused on, streaming those lives. But remind people of your other channel now where you do it all. Yeah. Shop with, right. Yes. Isn't it nice to have that sounding board though, right? Questioning. That's right. Yeah. Right. There's multiple things going on at once. The live selling plus the buy it nows, and I'm the same as you. Ugh, it's because the problem is I'm a perfectionist. So when it comes to like posting, you are right. Posting on District is way easier than posting on eBay. Posting on eBay, you have these millions of details that you could or might add, and you feel I always felt like I had to add all of them, and it took me forever. And oh my goodness, And then I avoid posting on Facebook because I mean on eBay because it's like energy. It takes so long. You know what I mean? But you're right. Setting small goals, like okay, let me see if I can just get 5 listings today, or you know what I mean, so that all your eggs aren't in just a live sale. That you can spread out the opportunity to progress in your business or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So thanks for touching on that. I'm going to reach into my little fun tub here, and now I'm going to pull out this beauty. Hello. We have a little bit of white out here. What do we use white out for? Just in our uh, just tell me, what is whiteout for? It's important to remember that none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, and it's natural for us not to be perfect, to not always know the answer, to not, you just we need to quit beating ourselves up. We just need to, we made a mistake. Let's clear it up and let's move on. You know what I mean? I'm going to put my little friend right here next to my glue. And I want to touch on, oh my goodness, let me tell you. And I talked to Hannah, if you're still in the chat, remembers when this happened with me. There was one time, not that long ago, that I was packing up a eBay order that two people had made this particular day. Actually, I think I had like 4 or 5 things that I was packing up, but for whatever reason, and this will never happen again because again I learned from my mistake and I have a system that will make it so this will never happen again, but for whatever reason I switched the product, and the one person that spent $45 on a teeny, it's about the size of a dime, Native American turquoise sterling silver pin, ended up receiving a $12 less expensive strand of vintage, whatever necklace, and then the person who only spent $12 on something got this thing. The point is, I mailed the wrong thing to the wrong customer, and I had no clue. And I don't know how I switched it up, but when it happened, I reached out to my friend Hannah, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you deal with this?" Because I was very stressed, because they can do this. That the buyer that received the really expensive item, they could have just kept it. I can't go show up at their house and force them to return it to me. You can hope that they will. You can send them, a refund label, which I'm not a refund label, but send them a new shipping label to send it back to you. And, however you logistically want to work out making that right, whether you want to refund both of them, wait for them to both come back, and then they reorder them and then send them off again. The point is, it's a complete inconvenience for everyone because they're receiving their product way later. They're having to go drop stuff off. This one particular customer was like, "Listen, my printer doesn't even work. Even if you send me this label, I can't even print it out. And, I don't drive anymore because I'm, 85 years old. And my son, who normally drives me around, is, out of town for the next 2 weeks." Like, oh my goodness gracious, it's completely like my fault. I did it. But whoa, how am I going to make this right? And I was so stressed. Hannah, are you still in the chat? I don't know if you are, if you remember when that happened, but thank goodness it took a long time. But everything eventually came back to me. But I had to pay for shipping for 2 items to come back to me. Do you think I'm making money on these sales? I'm not. Um, so, one customer ended up not repurchasing the item that they purchased. The other one still purchased it. He bought back the turquoise, Native American, pin. And because I so appreciated his business and his patience, I mailed him an extra set of Native American kind of themed or whatever, 925 earrings, because his other item, just because I appreciated it. But you know what the other customer did? The other customer went and they didn't reorder. Thank goodness I got the item back. I did provide a full refund for them, so they weren't out any money. But clearly, they were still annoyed with my mistake, that they went on to my, eBay store, and I had like an immaculate record of, all positive reviews and people making comments and all this. And I have one neutral review on there, I think, from a customer talking about how I did them wrong. No, I didn't do you wrong. I made a mistake and I did the best I could to resolve it. And sometimes you can only do as much as you can do. I tried everything I could to make up for my mistake. And what I want to remind everybody is, this will happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to you and you and you and you and Hannah and Rachel. And, Rachel says, "Yes, I remember when that happened to you." And meaning Hannah said that. And Rachel said, "Yes, I was popping. Hi, Esme. Oh, that's cool. I just couldn't hear you." Okay, yep. Okay, whatever. So the point is, it's stressful. Don't beat yourself up. We all make mistakes. And real quick, let me just touch on my notes before I get Rachel to chime in on her worst. She actually, literally, I remember once she did a YouTube video where her whole title was, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe it," or "I did this worst mistake," or "You wouldn't believe what I did." And you can't fix it. Like, you're just, you're like, you're making yourself crazy. So again, I wrote, "Oops, nobody's perfect. We all made mistakes. My biggest focus was trying to make sure the customer was happy. I apologized. I sent extra gifts, and I admitted it's totally my fault, blah, blah, blah." So we're not perfect. Put a little white on at it, resolve it the best you can, and move on. But please don't beat yourself up. Rachel, I'm going to let you talk about that if you want to. I am. Okay. Mhm. That well, when you've had 3 to 4 thousand sales just on eBay alone, it's Rachel, it would be not normal or natural to not have a mistake, right? Come on. Mm. Oh, okay, Hannah, but you can hear me. So let me tell you, and then Rachel can finish what I'm saying to you. I said, but she can hear me talking when I said, "Hey, Rachel, my friend remembers a time, whatever, blah blah blah." And Hannah just now says, Rachel, I need more of your high spirits and enthusiasm. And then Hannah says, I'm listening now once I figured out. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I just couldn't hear you here. Okay. So the difference, Hannah, I know I don't want to pressure you about coming to district. You do not have to sell. You do not have to buy. But if you come over to www.lilyworksjewels.com and you register, you can put in, a debit card, but you don't ever have to use it. And then once you're registered, you can come into the lives through district, and then really we're having a party. Woo, we're hanging out, we're whatever, we're jiving together, whatever. But when you are watching the live through district, you can see all the comments that everybody in district makes. Like, you hear me talk about the comments that people say on here, but you don't see them because you're coming in through YouTube, which we're so thrilled to have people come through YouTube, because that's an awesome draw. But just remember, I can see you comment. You can see my comments on district? Really? Mm. Okay, go ahead, Rachel. I'm sorry, interrupt you. That's the whiteout. No one's perfect. Yeah. Oh. Oh, high end, and you'll never get your money back. You have to refund the customer, and you also are out that item. Oh. Mm. Oh, wow. I guess, yeah. I get it. But you don't beat yourself up apparently because you're not a perfectionist. That's good. I need to like ooze that energy. You take what medicine? Say that again. Excellent. Right. Well, right, because you can't do it all. You can only get spread so thin. So it's like you have to like pick and choose what to stress about. You know what I mean? And that's not it. Right. The other day, I don't know if Julie is on here. She was here earlier, like Julia, our, seller who makes all her jewelry. And, I had mailed her, she had bought these three beautiful purple elephants in our thing. And I packed it up what I thought was decent. I wrapped everything in bubble wrap and, put other paper packing in there. And for whatever reason, one of the ears on one of the elephants got chipped off, and I was like, "Oh, I was so sad." And oh, hey, see, she's there. Yes, I'm still here. And so I was so upset because I know Julie was so excited. Her friend had bought her these elephants as a gift, and I shipped them off to her. I was all excited, and I'm thrilled that she reached out to me to tell me, and I gave her, it was three elephants. So two of them arrived just fine. And so I gave her sort of a partial refund, and I kind of talked her through, having to, how to fix, because good thing the elephant's ear broke off in one piece. So if she has any glue, expertise, she would probably be able to glue on the ear of that elephant and you may not even notice. Some of us can glue some of those things and you can't even tell. But I didn't have any control over it. And, like, oh, and you know what? Maybe I didn't put enough bubble wrap on it. And you know what? I'm going to learn from Julia. And I'm going to be like, you know what? I might put an extra layer of packing bubbles on that thing if, whatever. So we're not perfect. Don't beat each other up. Don't beat ourselves up, whatever. So, okay, I'm going to move on to my next one. And I'm sorry, when I said there was 12 things, I'm wrong. There's only 10 and we're almost done. So bear with me. We're on number 8. I used to have 12, but then I merged them to simplify. So my next thing that I'm going to pull out of here is this cute little journal. Here we got a little composition book. We can take notes and keep ourselves organized. And oh, I can't do this part yet. Hold on. I got to play you a song. I forgot this part. Hold on. Let's see if I sent it to myself. I had a thing here. Let's see if I send it to myself. Hold on. Hold on. I got to pull this up. My bad. This is really important. We have to do this part because all of us are different learners. It's very important. John Prine. That's the way that the world goes round. Videos. Stay signed out. Videos. Okay. So I'm going to play this song for you. I'm not going to play the whole thing. We don't have time. But I am also going to bring up some of the lyrics. Some of you might be familiar with this song. I personally grew up with this song because my dad used to let me just sit on the floor. And I love to listen to records and read the lyrics and sing along. I'm a terrible singer. I'm the worst. But I was happy in it. In it. So I'm going to start this video. Tap to unmute. Where's that? Hold on. I'm not going to make you listen to the whole thing, but I'm going to come here. Okay. But then I also want to bring up the lyrics. So I'm going to press play. Okay. Hold on. Got to go back. I got to get the lyrics on my iPad. Hold on. Bear with me. This is part of the full experience, full multi-sensory teaching experience, everyone. I got to do it all. I had a plan. Hold on 1 second. I got to pull up the lyrics. Hey, welcome in, Peter Paz. Okay, here we go. We're not listening to both. We're not listening to all of the parts of the song, but we're starting. That's the way the world goes round, and then the second part, and then he'll sing the chorus again. So here we go. I love John Prine. The world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day. And this is the part I want you to relate to jewelry and resale. We don't have any control over it. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd grow when the sun come through the window. The ice all broke, I stood up and laughed. Thought it was a joke, that's the way the world goes. And we're coming back up here. I know you're singing to yourself at your home. Haha. And I won't keep going. I think you get the idea. But I love that song. And all I could think about was that song. Tapping my toes. Love it. When, it happens. It's part of it. So now we can go on to number 8, which is my cute little journal here. The reason I'm bringing this out is another thing that we can do to help keep ourselves, um, to have a, I forgot to show this. Here's my world. That's the way that the worlds go around. I forgot to pull it out. Okay, done. Moving on. Um, Keeping ourselves organized, making sure that you have a plan. Rachel is super good at this. She's always, whether it's organized in, this part of her business, or, the community part of her business, or the eBay part of her business. And she even comes up with these charts where she sets goals and, the whole thing. Hold on, I got to bring up my uh, description here. Hold on. Okay, so staying organized, having a plan, and here's a big thing, making sure through it all that you are open to changes. Sometimes when we are organized and we have a plan and we're doing all this, we realize, well, maybe that's not the best way. Maybe based on this experience or this that happened, I'm going to do a new plan. And just kind of, it's okay. It's to change it up. It's okay to not, there's no rules. This is your business. This is your way. And my notes here say, hold on. Sorry. Stay flexible, making sure, that you're open to the fact that it doesn't have to be just so, even though you planned it. Planning is good. It's going to make things go well, but then also be open to the fact that things sometimes, for the betterment of your business or your experience or your happiness, sometimes we need to change things up. It's all you, Rachel. Uh, oh, did she really? Oh, how can I? Where do I see that? Oh, yay! Did she really? Oh my God, I could cry, Rachel. I could cry. Yay! And she doesn't have to buy, she doesn't have to sell. Hi, Felicia Hanna is a super close friend of both Rachel and I's from YouTube. Rachel has definitely known her longer from when they first started out. I know they were there to support each other and blah, blah, blah. Um, Oh, really? Yes, yes, yes. But she is so kind. And way back at the beginning of my notes where I talked about research and seeking help and don't be afraid to ask questions, I asked questions to Rachel all the time as I came into the district world. But do you know who I hounded? I don't think hey, let me figure this out. I love it. I hounded Hannah all the time about what does this mean, or how do I do this, or what is your opinion on this, or this and this. But you know what was really important to me is Hannah is truly a friend of mine. And my relationship with her was not just about give me answers. We talked about our families and our trips and, how was your day and what's going on with you. And bye, oh, bye, when I go back, there she is. Let's all clap. Everybody give me the clap sound in the chat. Fleurs de Montaigne is join the live. Give me some claps. Yay. Wow. I literally have chills. I'm so happy I can't even tell you. Clapping, clapping in the chat. Yay. Okay, go Rachel. I'm sorry. You can explain your staying organized world. Why? You seem so organized. Rachel, look at my side table, my beverages. Like look at over there, all my jewelry fixing. It's a mess. We were all that way. That's great. Oh, okay, cool. We can pass. Yeah. Well, but you know what, Rachel? Sometimes people are not good at delegating, and sometimes people, when they try to delegate, they're like too like in everyone's business, that even though you're trying to give jobs away to people or help me with this, that they give a job to people, but they're too in it to allow people. They want to have too much control over it that people can't go and do their strengths. And one of your strengths is delegating and then trusting people to go off and do their strength. And it's there's no perfection to it. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't, but you're letting it happen. And so that's still part of organizing. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let you not give yourself credit. You're not allowed. Okay, so Hannah, you're saying you recognize Felicia. Yeah, Pack Rat Queen. You want to know a fun little trivia thing about Felicia? She went to the University of Georgia. I think I don't know if she just taught there or if she got her master's or doctorate there and then also taught there. I don't know if it's both. I just subscribed to Hannah's channel. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay. But we Felicia, who is Pat Crack Queen, and I realized that we both at one point were probably at um, University of Georgia in the education building at the same time. We probably passed each other in the hall. It's very funny. That's so great. Gonna binge, right? And I think, hey, I assume the other day, Felicia, you already followed me too, or as well. I don't know, I can't remember. I think you said you had also, but lots of awesome information to binge on Hannah's channel. Let me tell you, the knowledge of glass beads, whether they're Italian Venetian or they're Japanese or they're Czech. This woman has some knowledge that's worth listening to. It's so great. So have fun with your binging. That's so great. Uh, yes, I think I've recognized your voice now chatting in the hall. Oh my goodness. Whoa. And Hannah is such a there are people in our Lilyworks district community that are really talented in repurposing. I had someone in my live the other day, Faye, who's with FS Campbell 5460088. She doesn't do resale, but she absolutely repurposes vintage jewelry, deconstructs them and uses them for their purposes. And I think, Hannah, I actually mentioned you in my video the other night to her about, people who artistically are talented in, creating jewelry using old vintage pieces, which I think is fantastic. Okay, let me reach into my little box here. Yes, I've been binging curry videos. I love it. I'm the newest fan. I love it. And I only have a couple things left, but one of the things I'm going to pull out is this great, oops, I'm knocking myself over here, my magnetic Mac tool there. But I have here a beautiful flower stretchy rubber band or whatever, but I'm bringing this out for a purpose. So everything that Rachel's about in this district community is about us, uh, you know, bonding as a community and being able to reach out to each other to help us all. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Grow. These are flowers. We all want to grow. And wherever we are, we could be advanced, knowledgeable jewelry people, but we can still grow. We can be beginners as a buyer or a collector, but we can still learn and grow. And everything about this community and everything that I've loved as I've come here is about being able to appreciate and benefit from the bonding that has taken place and the support and the help that this community has provided. And real quick, let me touch on this. This is the number one most important thing to Rachel about this district community. And let me tell you, because Rachel's touched on this, and I'm just gonna say it. People could be out there in the jewelry resale world that are like, oh, Rachel and Lilyworks community, she wants people to come to district. She just wants more people to come there so she can make more money. I genuinely can tell you that that is so not Rachel's focus or Rachel's, you know, if people come in and they can join like this, Rachel has membership levels. If you join a membership level, one of the benefits is that you take away a large cut of her, what she might make as, kind of the overseer of the marketplace of what we would make as sellers. And Rachel is so focused on us helping each other so that all of our businesses are successful. It is truly the foundation, the root, the core of who she is and what she cares about. And I know a lot of this comes also from her own personal beliefs as a person, for her family. And, you can say partially related to even her, I'm not afraid to say it, church and beliefs in her own, uh, religious focus, but she relays a lot of her beliefs just on her life in general, in her family, in her business success. And real quick, let me just look at my few notes here before I let Rachel touch on this most important part of what she believes. I wrote flower. Um, Community, help each other to grow, the importance of, positive comments and being there for each other. And just because we have live shows, we don't have to just be focused on me, me, me. Here's my show and everyone come watch me. No, I know I spend a great deal of time watching and supporting and purchasing even, but I don't feel pressured. I purchase when I want and I purchase the things I want. I never feel pressure, but I care about these people and these relationships that I've developed, and I want them to feel success. And matters to me. It matters the connections that I'm making. Real quick, positive comments, messages, being there to love bomb and be there to attend and be in other people's lives and support each other with questions. Even in on the district community, we can send chats or messages to individual people, and those people don't all have to be sellers. Hannah, just because you came over, you don't have to be a seller. You can just be a part of this community as a knowledgeable jewelry connoisseur, reseller, designer who has knowledge to share and wants to come and bond with people and make friends in the chat, whatever. There's no pressure to do anything else but what you want to do and what you care about. We want to make ourselves available for others. And I'm going to let Rachel talk on this. And then I have a little, real quick, brief activity to do at the end of that one topic. Go, Rachel. Oh, hands up. Me. Yes, for sure. I'm so excited you came up with that. Yes. Sorry, keep going. I'm excited. Yeah, it's so good. Okay, so number 10. Um, I have this tub here, and I'm actually going to move this part out because this is going to be my grand finale. But I have this just tub here. And for any of you, this is actually one of the items that is part of that matters in my little lesson here. I'm sure there hopefully might be some people in the chat that have bought some, like wearable lots from me, possibly, or some jewelry lots. Maybe it wasn't a full box of 6 or 7 pounds of jewelry, but maybe they bought like a lot of multiple items or whatever. What I want to say to you is another part that's going to help us feel successful and happy and like productive and positive in this is to make sure that all the jewelry that comes through the doors of our homes, whether it's thrifting or it's buying huge lots off shopgoodwill.com, or it's attending a garage sale, or it's going to, local, estate sales, or it's you had somebody in your family who passed away and a lot of things got sent down to you, or maybe you have friends who just want to give you stuff and say, hey, I don't care what happens to this, it's yours. And we cannot keep accumulating things without sending things out. We have to get things out in order to move our products, have new things to talk about. And so, what I want to say is, part 10, tub is the item that's also part of this, is it's really important to use all of the jewelry that comes our way. For example, when I have all the jewelry that I end up with, whether it's hauls or whatever, all the things I just said, I sell jewelry on eBay. It's sort of my high end gold, silver, diamonds, gemstones, more high end stuff that possibly on district I may not quite get what I feel like, is really, I paid a lot for certain things. I want to be able to get the value out of that. So we have certain places we might do things. Here on district, gorgeous vintage name brand and sterling silver and gemstone. You just saw last night I did a whole gemstone theme for my thing. So lots of still gorgeous, beautiful jewelry that I can sell individually or sometimes in some small lots. But then you have a whole nother level of jewelry that maybe, as you have a whole tub, you've seen Rachel do it a million times when let's sort jewelry. This is my scrap lot. This is my wearable lot. This is, I'm definitely going to list lot. And now we really have scrap, wearable, district, list on eBay or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Every jewelry or everything that's coming in your home, even if it's antiques, if you're reselling those, because, Lilyworks also has the antiques and collectibles market. We want to use it all, meaning we want to sell it all. We want to find people that are interested in all. And I'm going to touch on Hannah right now because she just recently has done some videos on YouTube. The last few videos she did was talking about single earrings, talking about scrap items that you think that no one would want, when really people will want those things because their purpose for this jewelry might be different. Mel, for example, she loves to purchase a lot of craft items from some of our lots because she's a creative person who repurposes things for her own. That's her strength, and that's what she looks for. While other people, maybe it's not their thing. I don't, Rachel always kids about how I don't fix jewelry. you know, I personally will fix jewelry or I'll, repurpose some jewelry, not quite as well as Hannah. But, the point is, don't just throw it away. Don't just think it has no value. Everything can have a value. And so for me personally, I have sold, you know, tons of huge 20-pound lots that I've accumulated, like a huge 20-pound lot on, for me personally, I find the best place for me to sell craft scrap lots is on Facebook Marketplace. They're local. I don't have to ship it. And I can make the price point really low. It's scrap. It's a craft, and I know what's in there is not sterling silver and diamonds because I've gone through it. But there are a lot of still brand new things in on card, even in packaging, that some people might find benefit of. Old beads that were things overworn, blah, blah, blah. And I'll sell these huge 20-pound lamps. I've sold out. I don't even have any to sell. And they'll sell on Shop Good Marketplace. I create, you've seen them in my lives where I create wearable lots where these are nice jewelry, their vintage, their name brand, their things that might even be in pairs, things that are matching, things that are fully wearable, usable, enjoyable that you can give for gifts and that you can, in fact, resell. I believe a lot of the wearable lots that I have are great reselling lots for people that are definitely learning about jewelry because there's beautiful jewelry on there, or just people who love jewelry, want to give jewelry to other people, want to wear it themselves. I don't know. And then the point is, all of the jewelry that comes in my door, I have places for it to go, and I've sold it and sent it back out the door. That's important. Remember, use it all. I'll let Rachel touch on that. Oh, that's right. Julia says, I've bought stuff in the maker's market. There you go. Hey. Hi, Tracy. Yes, Rachel's not sitting in my home. She's popping in. That's right. Yes, that's right. Hmm. I love that word rescue. Rescue. Mm. Yes, very much. I agree. And uh, you know what? There are people in this community that have strengths and can benefit and use and love and appreciate every level type thing, anything related to jewelry. I mean, and people come with from some different, so many different perspectives. Like, I had Faye share with us the other night her love for also, you know, recycling jewelry. But her angle in her story was very different than what Hannah's might be, or, why I came into the love of jewelry, which a lot of you have heard on, a month ago or so about my talking about where how I came to be here. So yes, it's neat that we can find value in all of it. Okay. So anyways, so again, the tub is part of it. You can see all the little lessons. You know what? I bet you can look at all these items. I bet you could go back and you could tell me, well, why did she talk about that? Well, why did she talk about the dinosaur? And you guys are such good students. I know that it's going to, like, you know, stay in your brain, and you're going to remember these things as you press forward. But as a little finale here, as it's bedtime for me. So nice chatting with y'all. Have a good night. Okay, see ya, Hannah. Bye bye. As a finale, this is my grand finale. That in my little box, I had this little bag of a sour gummies here, but I couldn't help but notice all these gummies just look like a community coming together to help each other grow, to learn. We never stop learning, to, explain tools and to help push each other to take a leap, to, you know, you know, encourage people when they're having a hard day, and you're up one day, the next you're down, and no one's perfect, or to provide ideas for staying organized. The point is, all of it, all of these things that I talked about tonight, we can help each other be the best, have the best experience in this resale world by coming together as a community and being there for each other. So, that being said, tomorrow night, I also will be doing a live show on the teaching train, teaching with Lilyworks, or Lilyworks teaching, where I'm actually this exact tub with all of these exact items, everything that you remember. I always have these giveaways and things. I just want to say that tomorrow night, all of the things that I'm going to bring to my live in my antiques and collectibles teaching train are going to be items that remind me of all these things that I taught about tonight. Like, for example, I'm going to have a whole bunch of brooches with flowers, because we're talking about helping each other grow. And you never stop learning, you never stop growing. And so that's going to be part of the things I'll sell tomorrow night. But what I want to say is, for anybody tomorrow night that purchased two things or more, the giveaway, it's a really nice giveaway, is going to be a box with all of those items in it sent to you, in addition to the items that you purchase. So I just want to let you know. And I thank everybody for coming tonight. I know we went way over an hour, but I love being the caboose for that exact reason, because I just tend to talk on. And it was so great to have Rachel come in and chime in on her experience and all that. And yeah, I'm so glad you guys wanted to come and hang out and spend your time with us. And I hope you learned something. I hope that it was something you can take away as positive. And sometimes, again, I don't want it to be about selling. I want it to be about the whole picture, looking at the whole thing. And the whole thing is, coming together, learning together to help us all grow for the betterment of our businesses. And the one last thing I want to do before everyone pops off this show is, in the chat, I need everybody to use their synonym skills, and on the focus of positivity, this is how we're going to close out the show. As fast as you can, I want you to type as many words as you can think of that are synonyms for the word great. Words that mean great. What other words could we use in our chats or our comments or our speaking or our description or our this that mean great? And there can be so many. Oh my God, there's so many words. We've got good and amazing and spectacular and fantastic and fabulous and awesome and stupendous and uh, I could keep going on and on and on. And when as a teacher, when we're trying to teach our kids to write, we're trying to teach them. You don't always have to keep just saying that was good. It was so good when I did this. Oh, this was awesome. Oh my goodness gracious, that is the finale right there. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I could cry. There's no better way to end. No one else make a comment, because we got to end with that. Thanks, everyone. I loved it. Thanks for participating. Thank you, Rachel, for being a part of actively chatting in this. And thanks for coming, everybody. I had a lot of fun. And again, if you want to join my show tomorrow night, I think, Rachel, is it correct? Am I going to move back? I was going to be at 10 o'clock p.m., but we didn't have anyone sign up for the last two spots. Is there an update on that? Okay, so it looks like the last space is 8. It's possible I could do that. It's easy. But so I could start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, correct? Okay. Oh, keep commenting. If you have more good, any words that are synonyms for amazing, stupendous, fantastic, awesome, incredible, you whatever, keep commenting. It's okay. But yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. I will be actually tomorrow. I will be doing some sales. I'm going to do less talking and teaching, but more kind of touching on what I talked about tonight. And the sales are going to go on the topics of what I talked about. I'll have fun bringing antiques and jewelry into it. And again, for anybody who purchases 2 or more things, you get your own private, awesome tub of memory. So that's it. That's all I got. Oh my, that's a long word. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Bye.